A serial killer who committed suicide in an Alaskan jail claims he killed 4 people here in the state of Washington.
And the question tonight, who were his victims before committing suicide in Alaska over the weekend? Israel Keyes told investigators he murdered several people across the country, including a couple in Vermont and 4 in the state of Washington. Records show Keyes spent at least his teenage years in Colville, where he may have been exposed to white supremacy teachings. KXY4's Jeff Humphrey explains why major crimes detectives want to know if Keyes killed anyone in our area.
Well, Israel Keyes has been doling out information to investigators for several months now, but warned them if they made his name public and attached it to serial killings, that flow of information about unsolved murders would come to a stop. That deal became null and void on Sunday when Keyes claimed his own life inside an Alaskan jail.
Alaska authorities informed us that Israel Keyes was found dead in an apartment of an apparent suicide in the facility in which he was incarcerated in Anchorage, Alaska.
Like most serial killers, Israel Keyes never stopped killing until he was behind bars. Keyes may be responsible for at least 8 murders, including 4 here in Washington.
Clearly, we have admissions from Mr. Keyes that he committed several murders in Washington state, and he gave non-specific information with regard to both the identity of the victims and the locations in which the murders were committed.
Keyes, who was arrested after using one of his victims' debit cards in Texas, told detectives he killed 2 people here in Washington in separate incidents in 2005 or 2006. Keyes also claims to have killed a couple here in Washington between the years of 2001 and 2005. Keyes is suspected of murdering a married couple in Vermont after breaking into their home and kidnapping them. His most recent arrest is related to an 18-year-old Alaskan coffee stand worker who was also kidnapped and her body dumped in a frozen lake. Now that Keyes is dead, the FBI is asking for help in establishing where Keyes was when he supposedly committed those murders in our state.
We are now comparing missing persons reports and really any available lead that might shed light on who these victims were and where the crimes may have been committed.
And the tips Keyes left with the FBI can be confusing. Here's an excerpt of one of his last interviews with investigators.
And the only person who knows about what I'm telling you, the kind of things I'm telling you, is me.
How long have you been 2 different people?
Long time. 14 years.
14 years is how long investigators think that Keyes may have been killing people, and now their best hope of solving those murders has taken his remaining secrets to the grave. Reporting in Spokane, Jeff Humphrey, KXLY4.